Thank you, Jayati, and a very warm welcome to Honorable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, who has spared his valuable time for the launch of this initiative, as well as very senior representatives from industry bodies, CII and FICCI, and corporate leaders, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj and Mr. Banmali Agarwal from Tata Sons. Uh, Today, we are here to sort of what I'll be doing is giving in a few minutes a very brief background as to what this initiative is all about. Delhi 2047 is an attempt of Delhi government to build a platform where all of us, especially the private sector, philanthropic organizations, can work together towards a common dream of what the national capital should look like in the year 2047, which is the 100th year of India's independence. Next slide. So the brief context to this is also, I mean, we are in a very difficult state right now as a country. We've just seen past a very bad wave of COVID, the fourth wave in Delhi, but countrywide the second wave. But one good thing that I've seen emerge out of this is an unprecedented scale of collaboration that we've seen in Delhi between the government as well as, in fact, all government agencies, and especially the private sector that has stepped up and worked together with the government. Honorable CM Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, right from the early days of the pandemic, had urged that the only way we can fight a pandemic of this nature is if we can work on it together. This is not something that one entity or one government alone can fight. And in response to that, the kind of support that we have seen, an outpouring, I would say, of support, be it in terms of medical supplies, medical equipments, there is just a brief mention of some of the supplies that the foundations as well as CSR and companies donated to various hospitals of Delhi as well as other hospitals in Delhi. One is 8,500 oxygen concentrators, more than 45 oxygen generation plants, and more than 10,000 oxygen cylinders. Delhi government, of course, worked at the foundation level in terms of rapidly increasing the bed supplies. I remember in early April, we were at around 6,000 beds. And by the end of April, we reached more than 20,000 dedicated COVID oxygen beds. So it was a war footing, but it was possible because we could all work together. In all, more than 75 organizations worked very closely with Delhi government, and DDC played a coordination role in enabling that. The next slide. So the vision for Delhi 2047 is essentially building off this one experience, but also a longer sort of need that we always saw as a government that, there are, I mean, a city belongs to all its people. It belongs to the community organizations, to citizens, to companies, to CSR organizations, all of it. And therefore, we need a platform that maybe it is pandemic or disasters, but even in non-emergency times, a platform that can foster these kinds of collaborations and work towards building a city that we can all dream of. In its budget of 2021-22, Honorable CM has unveiled a very bold vision for Delhi by 2047. And essentially, it has three elements of the vision. One is that we want to be equitable, where our per capita income in Delhi should be equal to, Singapore, and where every person, rich or poor, can have a high standard of living, be it education access to healthcare, basic amenities, bijli, pani, all of that. Second is we want to see Delhi emerge as a modern city with world-class infrastructure and public services. One of the dreams, and we are right now, we are in the middle of Tokyo Olympics, but, Delhi government has dreamt that why can't we as Delhi aspire to host India's first Olympics in the year 2048? And we need to sort of plan this realistically, because that is the amount of time and preparation that it will need if we have to emerge as a contender. And third, of course, is sustainability. All of us, the economy, the industry, everybody is impacted by the state of the environment. Delhi government has shown tremendous commitment, lot of initiatives already to improve air quality and water supply in Delhi. But can we really emerge as one of the most sustainable cities in the world, not just in India? And one element of that is curbing vehicular pollution and transitioning to 100% electric vehicles. Delhi government has already taken leadership on that front. So this is a very, very forward-looking vision that Honorable CM has unveiled. But achieving this is not possible by any single stakeholder. And this is where the need for a platform like Delhi 2047 comes, that rather than having ad hoc collaborations between the industry and different departments of Delhi government, can we have a deep, sustained collaboration around the longer term priorities? So around this vision, can we arrive at some longer term priorities and ensure that we work together on that? And that is essentially what the Delhi 2047 initiative is all about. Next slide. So that was just a brief overview of Delhi 2047. The two key things that we hope to do as this initiative and through the Dialogue and Development Commission is first align, as I said, the work and the efforts of the private sector as well as CSR organizations around the longer term priorities, which can be co-determined. And second is to bring in innovation. Private sector is synonymous with innovation. Delhi, we know, is also a startup capital in the country. Can we bring and mainstream some of these innovations within the government, work on a proof of concept basis and try and scale it up? So that is the idea. Today, Honorable CM is unveiling this initiative as well as this site, which is hosted at ddc.delhi.gov.in/Delhi 2047. When you go to the site, you can see about what is the vision of Delhi 2047. You can see some of the current projects. We've already, in line with the longer term vision, we have spoken to many departments and listed some of our initial priorities, but this is something that you will see the list updated over time. Next slide. So just as an example, the three focus projects that we are starting off with is Khelo Delhi. It's a very interesting project where we are trying to build world-class playgrounds in each and every Delhi government school. You know, tomorrow's Olympians are not going to come only from one or two national stadiums all across the country. Each and every government school, can it have world-class sports infrastructure? Delhi government has already built a few world-class hockey stadiums, swimming pools, FIFA football certified football stadiums, but can we do this in each and every school? The second is City of Lakes. Delhi government is right now working on a massive plan to rejuvenate, more than 1,000 water bodies which traditionally existed in Delhi and recharge the groundwater table. The third is the digital divide in schools. Again, this is very, very important. We see the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on schooling and education, and government school students don't always have access to digital devices. So we want to ensure, especially through this project, that all standard 10th and 12th students who are entering their board exams have access to digital devices. And you see in the website, there is a link to join Delhi 2047. So I'll end by urging the entire industry, all organizations that come, join us, be a part of this initiative, sign up on this website, and we look forward to talking to you in the days to come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for such a clear and an effective introduction. Now, I request all the special invitees to please share their views and insights on Delhi at 2047 initiative. We begin with Mr. Abhimanyu Munjal, CEO, Hero Finance Corporation, Chairman, Northern Region, CII.
Good afternoon, everyone. And at the onset, would like to thank Shri Arvind Kejriwalji, Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, for giving CI an opportunity to be a part of your vision, Delhi at 2047, collaborating to build a Delhi of your dreams by 2047, when India will celebrate its 100th year of independence. Sir, on behalf of CI and its members, we would like to partner and participate in realizing the Delhi government's vision of Delhi at 2047. We firmly believe in the vision and the objective mapped out under this initiative. It is deep, and it will be mutually beneficial to collaborate between government and the industry for any region to have sustained and long-term 360-degree holistic growth. So we at CI are very confident that Delhi at 2047 will not only be a capital city, but be a window to India's dreams and possibilities as envisioned by you. CI has been proactively engaging and working on policy advocacy matters in Delhi state. With the support of our large membership, our endeavor is always to identify gaps, challenges, and address them with the help of center and state governments. We have also taken a few steps towards sustainable development and saving lives and livelihoods, including waste to energy projects in Delhi, revival of water bodies in Delhi, and the Yuva initiative with the Delhi police. In addition, we are addressing one of the root causes of air pollution in Delhi by adopting villages in Punjab and Haryana to check the stubble burning. As the country battles COVID like other states, CI through its special Delhi COVID task force and CI Foundation is trying to supplement the state government's initiatives to mitigate the impact of this crisis. Under your visionary leadership, CI wants to make Delhi more livable and truly a world-class state with a high human development indicators. In the best interest of time, may I submit 3 key points for your consideration. So Delhi should be India's prime knowledge-based industry hub, KBI. This can be done by creating R&D hub with education institutions, research institutions, R&D units in engineering, pharmaceuticals, electronics, and creating dedicated industrial parks offering state-of-the-art infrastructure and facilities and creating incubation centers. Second point, sir, Delhi should be also projected as a IoT, AI, and a blockchain hub with common and shared digital infrastructure that is secure and provides open access and interoperability, developing self-sustained ecosystems with testing labs, digital infrastructure near automotive, engineering, and electrics cluster surrounding Delhi. Third, sir, Delhi as a tourism hub to attract new private investments, creation of art and culture clusters on the streets of Delhi to boost the tourism. Sir, to conclude, on the behalf of CI, we would like to extend our gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister for his guidance and leadership. And we look forward to partnering with you in this initiative of Delhi at 2047. And I ensure you all possible support from CI for realizing your vision. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable remarks. We now move on to Mr. Subrakant Panda, MD, Indian Metals and Ferroalloys Limited, Vice President, FICCI.
Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Jasmine Shah, Vice Chairman, Dialogue and Development Commission, business leaders, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to attend this program on behalf of FICCI and congratulate the Dialogue and Development Commission, Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi for launching the Delhi at 2047 initiative. Too often we get caught up with the issues of the day and don't give enough attention to planning for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. In this context, this excellent initiative casts an eye on the future and I'm sure is likely to propel Delhi to becoming one of the most livable and well-governed cities in the world. The task on hand may be ambitious, but by no means is it unachievable. Indeed, moving in step with India's ascendant growth trajectory, various deliverables under the Delhi at 2047 initiative will have to be meticulously chalked out and realized. These include clean air and water, world-class civic amenities, infrastructure, transition to electric vehicles, as was pointed out in the presentation, amongst other things. And of course, not just meticulous planning, but flawless execution, which will require the support from all stakeholders, including from private organizations. A task of this magnitude cannot be achieved without involvement of all, And I'm sure that this initiative will find support from all quarters. As such, some of the initiatives undertaken by the Delhi government, especially in the social sector, are relevant not just for Delhi itself, but India as a whole, given the cosmopolitan nature and the fact that Delhi is more often than not the first port of calling for anyone coming to the country. While a start has been made to augment Delhi's health infrastructure through a 4-tier system, the second wave of the COVID pandemic highlighted the importance of sustained intervention so as to make healthcare available and affordable for all. I'm glad that Mr. Shah touched upon the role of the private sector and charitable foundations during the ferocious COVID wave, and I can assure you that all of us, while we hope and pray that that we don't see that again, but certainly I think everybody has to contribute to ensure that we pass through all challenges unitedly. Similarly, I think one of the highlights has been the overhaul of the government school infrastructure and associated actions that has had a good outcome in terms of overall learning and improved pass percentage. We at FICCI feel that the time has now come to take the next step and design effective education to employment programs. And of course, I wholeheartedly endorse the need to address the digital divide in education, especially when online classes are now, at least for the near future, looking like the way to go. It's very, very important to ensure that everybody has access to online education, and lack of means does not come in the way. When we look at key indicators which determine ease of living, things like urban infrastructure, civic amenities, and efficient delivery of public services are key. Much has been done in this regard under the Honorable Chief Minister's initiative, and I'm sure advancement in technology will be effectively leveraged going ahead. I would also like to touch upon one of the toughest challenges faced by Delhi and its inhabitants, which has been that of poor air. So clearly there is an urgent need to look at this issue holistically and a spirit of cooperation so that a sustainable solution is found. And again, there's a lot of innovation that can be done to address this issue, besides, of course, getting to the root causes and addressing those. I also endorse what my colleague at CII said, that I think, when it comes to increasing per capita income in Delhi, the services sector will have to take the lead, and sectors like banking, finance, IT and IT-enabled services, education, healthcare, trade, e-commerce are all which have to be looked at carefully and seen what can be done to power the economic growth of Delhi. FICCI as an apex chamber has multiple committees and requisite expertise in various sectors, and we will be happy to work with the government of NCT of Delhi and its arms like the Dialogue and Development Commission to help realize the dream of Delhi at 2047. I once again thank you for inviting FICCI to be part of this program and wish you all the best for this important and forward-looking initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your special inputs. I would now request Mr. Banmili Agarwala, President, Infrastructure, Defense and Aerospace and Global Corporate Affairs, Tata Sons and Private Limited, to please share his views on this special initiative, Delhi at 2047.
Thank you so much. Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Shah, Mr. Munjal, Mr. Panda, Mr. Bajaj. First of all, thank you so much for inviting us to this very important occasion. At the outset, I'd like to compliment you for this initiative and just the way you've gone about it, which is not make this to be some kind of a jamboree, but a focused discussion with few people, which clearly shows your intent. And I would urge you to carry it on in that fashion so that we can actually get something done. My second point would be that I think we're talking about Delhi in 2047, which is still about 25 years from now. And my suggestion would be that how can we position Delhi and measure Delhi through the lens of the quality of life of the weakest people and the poorest people who would be living in the city, as opposed to just making Delhi a city of iconic monuments and as a showcase, etc., for the world, which of course it will be. But I think we will, the better purpose would be served by making sure that we're able to make it the most livable place for the weakest section of society. That I think should be the measure, and that is how we should, that is the standard to which we should hold ourselves. Third point, I think looking at it from the outside, sir, and not as a politician, of course, But there are a few things which we really appreciate the manner in which you have run Delhi. There are 4 points that really strike out, and I think we should learn from them. First, the way you have revived education, and particularly primary education, is absolutely a world standard which needs to be followed. How can we replicate the same thing in other basic fundamental infrastructure areas as well? I think is something we should learn. Second, your approach towards public spending, where you have dramatically brought down the cost and speed at which public projects get implemented, simply because of your commitment towards doing it the right way and with a lot of sincerity. I've seen, sir, you have a number of examples where you have brought down the cost substantially, not just by a few percentage points, but substantially. Third point, your whole approach of decentralized administration through, for example, your Mohalla clinics, I think is a resounding success. Again, how can we translate this to other areas of governance as well? And lastly, I think your emphasis on young leadership is extremely crucial. I don't think there is any other part of the country where you have leadership which is so young, which is so committed and dedicated, and clearly see even on score, you don't seem to have any other agenda but to actually work for the good of the people. My point is that from these initiatives that you have, sir, how can we take them further and take them to many other areas that are required to improve the basic quality of life of the poorest sections? My fourth point would be, sir, I think today we have a solution and a technology solution for everything, be it water, be it electricity, there is no dearth of technology solutions available. The challenge is, how do we make that solution affordable? I would argue that it's the responsibility of corporates like us, Tatas and so on. How do you make technology affordable and accessible to as many people as is possible? That is where the focus of innovation needs to be. And this has to be in simple areas. We spoke about power generation and distribution. You just spoke about water. You just spoke about clean air. I think we can pick on certain focused areas, even healthcare, and try and see how do we get these basics to be affordable and accessible to all. At the cost of, I'm not saying salesmanship from the Tata Group, but as you've seen, sir, in power distribution, losses coming down from 52% to 7% or 8%, as Mr. Shah would know, I think is one way to simply eliminate inefficiencies and make things more affordable. I think that is where the focus of the private sector needs to be, in partnering with you to make these let's say, offerings more affordable. Lastly, I would say, sir, I think it is the easiest thing for the private sector to do is to write a check. But what is more important and what is more critical is to actually partner to make those solutions, first to make it as a solution, meaning it's not just a product, but a solution. And then secondly, to make it sustainable over the long run. And I think, I'm sure that when I speak for the Tatas, I speak for a lot of the corporate world, we would be there to partner with you to make sure that it runs over through the entire length of the life cycle and as a solution. Last point, so from the government's perspective, there would be two things that I think would be necessary to make us succeed. First is, of course, coordination, because I think otherwise things just get to be a little chaotic. The second, this would need some amount of civic change and civic sense as well needs to be improved. And I think, sir, that is where people like political leaders like yourself can convince people to conduct themselves better, to follow rules better, to pay for services in whatever is an affordable manner better. And I think the social change that is required is something that only political leadership can bring about. And your effort in that direction, sir, would be extremely valuable. In summary, I once again want to reiterate, sir, we are extremely proud that you have made us part of this engagement. We respect a lot of what you have achieved so far with your sincerity. And we have no doubt, sir, that you can take Delhi to your vision of how really we should be living as a society. And we would be standing with you shoulder to shoulder to make sure that we would succeed. I would also like to compliment you, sir, for doing a lot of this in a very quiet and understated way. I would again urge you to please carry on in the same spirit. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts. I would now request Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, MD, Bajaj Auto, to share his thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Minister, Jasmine, Team Delhi, and all my esteemed co-participants and friends. It has been my conviction for the longest time that the foundation of our health is our individual immunity. And this pandemic has only served to strengthen that conviction. But I have struggled for some time to find an answer to the question of what, therefore, is our collective vitality as an equivalent of our individual immunity. And the other day, I had the occasion to listen to a fireside chat of the Nobel laureate, Professor Yunus, who said that in his perspective, the three primary problems that the world faces are that of global warming, number two, that of rising unemployment, particularly accelerated by the adoption of newer technologies, and number three is wealth concentration, i.e., the gap only keeps widening between the few haves and the many have-nots. And I thought that when he said that we need to work to minimize these three problems or almost these three evils, I thought that was a great articulation of how one can create greater collective vitality in society. And then when I saw your agenda and the 3 points or the 3 result areas that you have targeted for Delhi at 2047, I saw that you have covered all of Professor Yunus's points in your point number 1 and point number 3. You have additionally a second point that addresses world-class infrastructure and public services, which one can only agree with. And the Olympics is definitely a very exciting mascot of this point. I was very happy to also see that you have not only articulated your result areas, but you have also highlighted the cause side, i.e., how do you propose to do this? In terms of creating a conducive environment for business, I would urge you to benchmark, as I'm sure you would be doing, the best practices with respect to the ease of doing business, particularly as I have experienced in some of the ASEAN countries. I like very much not just your mention of innovation, but particularly because you have used the term proof of concept in the context of innovation. Because my own opinion has been that we start with some very good, meaningful, relevant thoughts like Swachh Bharat, Make in India, smart cities, etc. But unfortunately, we do not make it from the headline to the finish line because we do not establish proof of concept before trying to scale up these initiatives across the country. And finally, we all understand that sustainable CSR has a prerequisite, which is long-term visibility of the direction of the effort. And in providing us with a 25-year roadmap of Delhi at 2047, you will be giving us this kind of visibility. And as much as we have participated with Delhi on CSR initiatives before, it will be our privilege to do so again, particularly in the context of this endeavor. So I would like to just end by saying that, like everyone else, I am very encouraged by this. I feel privileged to be associated with it. It is an audacious goal, but it rests on very able shoulders of the leadership of the Chief Minister and Jasmine and his team. And we are all, as all my co-participants have said, more than happy to lend our shoulder to your effort. Thank you very much again for having me.
Thank you so much for your insights, sir. Now I request Honorable CM Shri Arvind Kejriwal to address us all and launch this special initiative, Delhi at 2047 by the Delhi government.
आप सब लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार. मिस्टर अभिमन्यु मुंजाल, मिस्टर शुभ्रकांत पांडा, मिस्टर बनमाली, मिस्टर राजीव बजाज, जैस्मिन, सबसे पहले आप सब लोग आज समय निकाल के आज इस मीटिंग के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, इसके लिए मैं तहे दिल से आप सब लोगों का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ. आज मुझे बेहद खुशी है कि दिल्ली एक्ट 47 का हम लोग शुभारंभ कर रहे हैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ. इस साल बजट के जब हमने असेंबली में बजट प्रेजेंट किया था तो इसकी एक छोटी सी रूपरेखा हम लोगों ने असेंबली में प्रेजेंट की थी कि किस तरह से दिल्ली चूंकि देश की राजधानी है, एक तरह से जो भी पूरी दुनिया भर से लोग आते हैं तो सबसे पहले दिल्ली होके फिर बाकी देश के अंदर जाते हैं. दिल्ली से लोग देश को देखते हैं दिल्ली के थ्रू. तो दिल्ली एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे जो एक सबके लिए एक मैटर ऑफ प्राइड है. हमें दिल्ली को एक ग्लोबल सिटी की तरह डेवलप करना है. आज हम अपने घर में बैठे हैं तो हम कह सकते हैं कि हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि दिल्ली के अंदर बहुत सारी चीज़ें ठीक हैं. हमें दिल्ली के अंदर बहुत सारी चीज़ों को अभी एड्रेस करना है, बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स को अभी ठीक करना है. तो 2047 में देश जब 100 साल पूरे कर लेगा तब दिल्ली को हमें कहाँ लेके जाना है उसका एक रोड मैप हम लोगों को प्लानिंग तैयार करनी है. उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हम लोगों ने इस बार बजट में एक विजन रखा था और उसके लिए एक बजट भी रखा था ताकि उस दिशा के अंदर काम शुरू हो सके. दिल्ली एट 47 जब हम बात करते हैं तो एक बारी मन में ये भी आता है कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि हम आर वी प्रोक्रेस्टिनेटिंग डीलिंग ऑल आर एफर्ट्स. हम ये कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं भाई अभी तो चलो ठीक ठाक है, अब 2047 में देखेंगे, जब 2047 में बात करेंगे. दैट इज नॉट द पर्पज. द पर्पज इज कि बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, उन प्रॉब्लम्स की, उन एरियाज की, उन सेक्टर्स की लिस्ट बनानी है, उनके समाधान निकालने हैं और उनकी टाइमलाइंस बनानी है, उनके माइलस्टोन्स बनाने हैं. कुछ समस्याएं हैं जो साल भर में भी ठीक हो सकती हैं, कुछ समस्याएं हैं जो 2 साल में भी ठीक हो सकती हैं और कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो शायद 47 तक जाएंगी. तो अगर मैं ये कहूँ, जैसे हमने असेंबली में इस बार जब रखा कि हम अपनी दिल्ली की पर कैपिटा इनकम सिंगापुर के बराबर लेके जाएंगे, या मैं कहूँ कि हम 2048 के ओलंपिक के लिए बिड करेंगे. दीज आर सम थिंग्स विच आर अ लिटिल लॉन्ग टर्म. ये कल अचीव नहीं हो सकती, ये 1 साल में अचीव नहीं हो सकती, ये 2 साल में अचीव नहीं हो सकती. लेकिन अगर मैं कहूँ कि हम 24 घंटे दिल्ली में पानी देंगे, ये 2047 तक वेट नहीं करना चाहिए. दिस शुड हैपन इन नेक्स्ट 1 ईयर, 2 ईयर्स, 3 ईयर्स. कम से कम अगले चुनाव के पहले तो दिल्ली के अंदर 24 घंटे पानी मिलना ही चाहिए. तो बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. पिछले 5 साल में हम लोग नए नए राजनीति में आए हैं, हमें राजनीति उतनी अच्छी करनी नहीं आती, लेकिन समस्याओं का समाधान ढूंढने का हम ईमानदारी से एफर्ट करते हैं. पिछले 5 साल के हमारे एक्सपीरियंस ने ये दिखाया कि समाधान निकाले जा सकते हैं, समाधान ढूंढे जा सकते हैं. इच्छा शक्ति चाहिए, विल पावर चाहिए, पॉलिटिकल विल चाहिए. अभी जैसे बनमाली साहब भी ये कह रहे थे कि टेक्नोलॉजिकल सॉल्यूशंस तो मिल जाएंगे, टेक्नोलॉजिकल सॉल्यूशंस तो अवेलेबल हैं. आज दुनिया इतनी प्रगति कर चुकी है कि कोई भी समस्या हो उसका समाधान निकल सकता है. उस समाधान को इम्प्लीमेंट करना है हम लोगों को. पिछले 5 साल के अंदर कुछ सेक्टर्स में दिल्ली सरकार ने अच्छे एफर्ट्स किए, उसको सब लोगों ने देखा. शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में बहुत अच्छा एफर्ट किया। आज मुझे कहते हुए अभी परसों 12वीं क्लास के नतीजे आए हैं और आपको ये जान के ताज्जुब होगा कि हमारे दिल्ली सरकार के स्कूलों के, दिल्ली सरकारी स्कूलों के नतीजे 99.97%, 99.97% आज तक कभी 70 साल में भारत के इतिहास में सुना नहीं होगा सरकारी स्कूलों के नतीजे। और पिछले 5 साल से दिल्ली के सरकारी स्कूलों के नतीजे प्राइवेट से ज्यादा अच्छे आ रहे हैं। So extraordinary achievements have been had in the field of education. ऐसा नहीं कि सब कुछ ठीक हो गया, अभी बहुत कुछ करना बाकी है। हमारे एजुकेशन को लेके और बहुत सारे सपने हैं, उसको भी इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे। अभी हमने एक स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी बनाई है, एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एंड स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी बनाई है, और बहुत सारे काम करने हैं। लेकिन एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में जो हुआ वो ये दिखाता है कि हो तो सकता है, इट्स पॉसिबल, इट्स डूएबल। उसी तरह से हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में काफी अचीवमेंट्स हुए। दिल्ली के सरकारी अस्पतालों की बहुत बुरी हालत थी, सरकारी अस्पताल ठीक किए गए, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक्स का एक बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क तैयार किया गया, पॉलीक्लिनिक्स का एक बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क तैयार किया गया। एक तरह से सुरक्षा चक्र, हेल्थ सुरक्षा चक्र हर सिटीजन को मिला है, क्योंकि हमने दिल्ली के अंदर हर नागरिक का पूरा इलाज मुफ्त कर दिया है। उसके लिए फंड्स जुगाड़े, जहां से भी फंड्स जुगाड़े, लेकिन अब दिल्ली में कोई भी आदमी ये नहीं कह सकता कि मैं बीमार हूं, मेरे को 15 लाख रुपए, मैं कैंसर है, मेरे को इतनी बड़ी बीमारी है, मेरे को 15 लाख रुपए लगेंगे इलाज के। उसके जितने मर्जी लगे पैसे इलाज के, वो अस्पताल में जाके, सरकारी अस्पताल में अच्छा इलाज होगा, इसकी भी गारंटी है, जाके अपना इलाज करा सकता है। हमने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के क्षेत्र में बहुत शानदार काम किया। मेरे को याद है 2015 में हमारी सरकार बनी थी और 2014 की गर्मियां मुझे याद हैं, जब 7-7, 8-8 घंटे के पावर कट लगते थे दिल्ली के अंदर। आज दिल्ली में 24 घंटे बिजली आती है, और इसमें हमने बिजली कंपनियों के साथ मिलके, वही बिजली कंपनियां हैं, सेम है, इट्स जस्ट दैट पॉलिटिकल विल आज है। बिजली कंपनियों के साथ मिलके 2015 से लेके अगले 2-3 साल तक मेरे को याद है, हमने खड़े होके ट्रांसफार्मर चेंज कराए, केबल चेंज कराई जो पुराने हो गए थे, सब ठीक करके आज दिल्ली में 24 घंटे बिजली मिलती है। तो बिजली के क्षेत्र में अच्छा काम हुआ। आज सर्विसेज के क्षेत्र में 100 से ज्यादा सरकारी सर्विसेज ऐसी हैं जो आपको डोर स्टेप पे मिलती हैं। हमने एक फोन नंबर जारी कर दिया है, आप उस नंबर पे फोन कीजिए। जैसे आप पिज्जा ऑर्डर करते हैं, आप फोन करते हैं, पिज्जा आपके घर आ जाता है, ऐसे उस नंबर पे आप फोन कीजिए, आप कहिए कि मुझे अपना राशन कार्ड बनवाना है, तो वो आपसे पूछेंगे कि हम कितने बजे आपके घर आएं। आप अपना टाइम बता दीजिए जो आपको सूट करे, वो आपके घर आएंगे और आपके घर आके आपका राशन कार्ड बना के जाएंगे। आपको दफ्तर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको दफ्तर से छुट्टी लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको लाइन में खड़े होने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको दलाल को पैसे देने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको घर आके डोर स्टेप डिलीवरी ऑफ सर्विसेज करके जाएंगे। दिल्ली सरकार के जो फाइनेंसेस थे, उन फाइनेंसेस को ठीक किया। CAG की पिछले साल रिपोर्ट आई है जिसमें लिखा है कि दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट इज द ओनली गवर्नमेंट इन द कंट्री, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इन द कंट्री, जो प्रॉफिट में चल रही है, जो लॉस में नहीं चल रही है। हमारी सरकार लॉस में नहीं चल रही है, अब हम प्रॉफिट में चल रहे हैं, दिल्ली सरकार प्रॉफिट में चल रही है। तो हमने एक प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर, चाहे उसको टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करके या फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रक्चर यूज करके, ईमानदारी से सरकार चल रही है, हमारी नीयत अच्छी थी, इसलिए हर प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हमने पैसे बचाए हैं और उस तरह से हमने सरकार को एक तरह से फाइनेंशियली सस्टेनेबल और अकाउंटेबल बनाया है। बहुत सारी चीजें करनी बाकी हैं जिसके ऊपर अभी काम चल रहा है। दिल्ली की सड़कें चौड़ी तो बहुत हैं लेकिन अच्छी नहीं है, वो ठीक से डिजाइंड नहीं है। उन सड़कों को यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स का हम बनाना चाहते हैं, तो हमने 500 किलोमीटर की सड़कों का पहला लिया है, उसके बाद और आगे जाएंगे। धीरे धीरे करके हम दिल्ली की सारी सड़कों को हम चाहते हैं कि वो यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स की बने। दिल्ली के अंदर पानी की ठीक वो नहीं है, दिल्ली में हम पानी चाहते हैं कि 24 घंटे पानी आना चाहिए, और जैसे यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में होता है कि हम अगर टूटी खोलें तो उसमें से पीने का पानी, सीधे पीने का पानी आना चाहिए। ट्रांसपोर्ट को ठीक करना है, दिल्ली का ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम, उसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं। जैसे अभी जैस्मिन ने बताया कि हमारा एफर्ट है कि पूरा का पूरा ट्रांसपोर्ट जो है वो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो। बहुत बड़े स्केल के ऊपर दिल्ली में लेक्स डेवलप की जा रही हैं। बहुत सारी लेक्स, पुरानी जमाने में लेक्स होती थी, अब वो पूरी एनक्रोचमेंट हो गई है उसके अंदर, वो सारी एनक्रोचमेंट साफ करके अब बहुत सारी लेक्स को दिल्ली के अंदर डेवलप किया जा रहा है। एक बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है जिसमें दिल्ली के अंदर पार्क्स एंड गार्डन्स बनाए जा रहे हैं, उसको लोकल कम्युनिटीज के साथ, RWAs के साथ उनको इन्वॉल्व करके बहुत बड़े स्केल के ऊपर पार्क्स एंड गार्डन्स डेवलप किए जा रहे हैं। स्पोर्ट्स में जैसे मैंने कहा कि स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी हम लोगों ने बनाई है, और स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी का हमारा मेन मकसद यही है कि एक तरफ ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन को स्पोर्ट्स में इन्वॉल्व करें और प्लेयर्स तैयार करें कि अगली बार हम ओलंपिक में और इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे हमारे खिलाड़ी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मेडल लेके आ सकें। दिल्ली हमारी एक तरह से प्राइड है, दिल्ली देश की राजधानी है, लेकिन अगर आप दिल्ली में आए तो दिल्ली इतनी गंदी है, इतनी गंदगी है चारों तरफ, उसको साफ करना है, सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट पे काम करना है। इट्स नॉट अ रॉकेट साइंस, इट कैन बी डन। आप इंटरनेशनल टेंडर दीजिए, आपके पास ढेरों कंपनी आ जाएंगे जो दिल्ली को साफ करने के लिए तैयार हैं। और आजकल तो कूड़ा भी बिकता है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आप बड़े सस्ते में, या मतलब एक्चुअली क्लीनिंग दिल्ली में नॉट बी अ एक्सपेंसिव आइडिया, इट में एक्चुअली जनरेट रेवेन्यू फॉर यू। इसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं हम लोग। हवा को साफ करना है, पोल्यूशन है बहुत ज़्यादा, वाटर पोल्यूशन है, एयर पोल्यूशन है, उसके ऊपर काम करना है, यमुना को साफ करना है। तो बहुत सारे काम हम लोगों को करने हैं, वो हम अकेले नहीं कर सकते, ये बहुत बड़ा काम है। इसमें आप सब लोगों का सहयोग चाहिए, उसमें सिटीजन्स का भी सहयोग चाहिए, उसमें कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर का भी सहयोग चाहिए। और अभी हमने कोरोना में देखा, कोरोना कितनी बड़ी महामारी थी। दिल्ली की इसलिए तारीफ हो रही है कि दिल्ली में हम लोगों ने सबको साथ लेके काम किया, और स्पेशली कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर का हमें बहुत सहयोग मिला। हमने जिसको भी फोन उठा के फोन किया कि हमें इतने सिलेंडर चाहिए, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू इन्फॉर्म यू कि किसी भी ग्रुप ने, किसी भी कॉर्पोरेट ग्रुप ने हमें मना नहीं किया, सब लोगों ने सहयोग किया। बहुत सारे, इट्स अ लॉन्ग लिस्ट, बहुत सारे लोगों ने सहयोग किया। तो तब हमें ये लगा कि अगर हम सब लोग मिल जाएं, अगर कोरोना जैसी बीमारी से डील कर सकते हैं, तो ये वाले सारे सेक्टर्स को भी ठीक कर सकते हैं, हम सारे मिलकर ठीक कर सकते हैं। तो अब आप सब लोगों का हमें सहयोग चाहिए, और आज ये प्लेटफॉर्म उसी लिए डेवलप किया गया है जिसमें हम आपसे चेक लिखवाने के लिए नहीं आएंगे, हमें आपकी एक्सपर्टीज चाहिए, हमें आपके आइडियाज चाहिए, हमें आपका पार्टिसिपेशन चाहिए, और जैसा आप लोग कह रहे थे, हमें आपकी पार्टनरशिप चाहिए। हम कंधे से कंधा मिला के आपके साथ मिलके दिल्ली को 21st सेंचुरी की दिल्ली बनाना चाहते हैं, ताकि 2047 में जब हम बैठे तो हम ये कहें कि हमें अपनी दिल्ली के ऊपर गर्व है। तो एक तो हमें ऐसी दिल्ली बनानी है जिसपे हम सब लोगों को मिलके गर्व हो, और एक ऐसी दिल्ली बनानी है जिसमें गरीब से गरीब आदमी भी अच्छे से रह सके, इज्जत से रह सके, आराम से रह सके। Thank you so much for your participation, and look forward to many more such meetings in the times to come.
Thank you, sir. And we again encourage the entire industry to come forward and join this initiative. And I thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you. Thanks
you,
to
sir.
everyone.